Happy Monday, everybody. Donnie Baker here with the LPR Sound Foundation. I'm excited about today, man. We're doing some mastering. The past few weeks, this is mixing and mastering month. And the past few weeks, we've been mixing. We did 3 different scenarios. We mixed in the box, we mixed a fully analog, which was kind of fun. Then we mixed a hybrid, which is the best of the both. Now what we're doing today is we're gonna master all 3 of those outputs that we did. We're gonna see which one comes out best. So if you guys are ready, let's go look at some mastering. Okay, here we are. We're gonna be, today is mastering day, so we're gonna start our mastering process. The first thing I wanna do is check and make sure that my Apollos are going to the right place. So we're gonna do everything in the box. So let's just make sure everything's in the box on this one. There it is, there's my outputs, and we are good to go. Let's go ahead and start our Pro Tools. Okay, we're going to start with a template today, and I'm going to make sure that we are at 16-bit 44.1, and I'm going to give this the name of Homie Master. Homie Master Test, and we will make sure the interleave is selected, and I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and create this session. Let's tell it where we want to put it. We'll go ahead and just make a new folder here and put it in, let's just put it here in the Homie folder of all the work we've been doing. So it's going to open up our template, and we should be ready to import our files. So this is our template. The plugins I'm using are all stock Pro Tools plugins, except for this meter. This is a third-party meter that I like. I'm going to leave this one here, and you can see that I've got notes or comments when you open up the template that I'm giving you. You'll see that there's some notes here for you. So you can close those down. I don't need to look at those. So on the routing, if you look at the routing, our track's going to go here once we bring it in, and it goes out. It's routed out to a submaster. The submaster in is the submaster track, and it has the plugins on it. And then the output of that goes to a print track. We're going to print internally onto this track. And then the output of the print track goes to the master fader. Notice that the meter is on the master fader because I actually want to meter what the output is to my speakers. So that's why I do that. Okay, let's go ahead and import the files, and let's go ahead and I'll just bring them in. Let's just go to import audio. Now, notice off to the right there, in Pro Tools, man, if you notice off to the right, there's this, this is basically the key command for that. So if we use Shift Command I, it's the same thing, okay? And then there are my 3 files, the in the box, the hybrid, and the analog mix. And because we chose 1644.1, all I gotta do is add it. It's not gonna convert anything, okay? And when it comes in, I'm gonna go ahead and tell it to make new tracks, all right? Make new tracks out of each one of these. There you go. And then now I'm gonna make the output of these new tracks. I'm gonna hold down Shift and Option because these are all selected. I'm gonna make the output of this go to the submaster. So now the output of this, I'll go ahead and close this one down. We don't really need to see that one. The output of each one of these is now going to the submaster, and then the output of the submaster again is going to the print track. Now I just noticed in my, I just noticed that the files aren't labeled, and that's a view, okay? And you can go to the clip and turn on the name. There are other things you could turn on that you want to look at. I just want to see the name. There's the analog, the hybrid, and the in the box. Okay, so the way that we did them in order, we did the in the box first, then we did the analog, and then we did the hybrid. So we'll do them that way as well. So now, one of the first things we want to do is we want to select each of the files, and we want to normalize. Okay, one of the first things you should do in mastering is to normalize your tracks. Okay, so I'm going to normalize all my tracks together. If I just had one track, I would just select the one track. Now, what normalizing does is it looks at the entire file, and it finds the peak, and then it's going to bring that loudest peak to 0 dB because that's where we've set our limit. Okay, and then it's going to bring everything else up in relation to that. And you should see that the WAV file gets a little bit bigger. There you go. So those got a little bit bigger. And now they're all actually the same. They should be all the same volume, if you will, perceived volume. Okay, so now what we can do is we're going to start within the box. So let's just mute the other two. We have to have the input monitor on because everything is running through this track. If we don't have that on, you're not going to hear anything. Okay, but if we turn that on, now we can hear it. Okay, so when we actually print it, we'll actually be recording it, but I don't think we need that there right now. So let's just make sure that we're hearing everything. Again, let's bring this track input on. So all of our plugins are on right now. You know what? A cool trick that you may or may not know is if you select the track with all your plugins on, if you want to like A/B with and without all the plugins, you can select the track and use Shift and A. Okay, and that will basically bypass all the plugins at the same time. Yeah. Okay, we got a pretty good level on that, and now what we need to do is let's start mastering. So again, mastering is, I'm gonna bring all the plugins back online here. EQ. Here's another trick you may or may not know. The little red target button there, if you turn that off, you'll be able to open up another plugin on top of it. And that way you can keep all your plugins open at the same time. So you got an EQ, a multi-band compressor, and a limiter, as well as a dither. Now the dither, we don't really need to see the dither. It's not going to do anything except add a little bit of noise shaping to the output. So I'll just leave that one off. We don't need to look at it. So again, I'm using simple default plugins that come with Pro Tools, okay? So we haven't done anything yet. So why don't we start listening? You know what? One of the actual rules, and it's just, I mean, it's kind of a common understanding. Let's not call it a rule. But a common understanding is that you do not master in a mix session because you're too tempted to go back and change your mix. Once you start adding EQs to your master fader, once you start adding a multi-band compressor, a limiter, you might hear things that are a little bit different in your mix. And if you do master in your mix, you might be tempted to go back into your mix and turn down your hi-hat or turn up the vocals or reduce the reverb on the guitar or whatever. You're too tempted to go in. Now, if you do find a major mistake with your bounce from your mix, you can go back into your mix and fix it and then rebounce it and bring it back into your mastering session. So this is why we use a mastering session instead of mastering inside our mix session. So one of the big things is that one of the major things about mastering is you're trying to make your song louder, but you're trying to make it wider and clearer and just have more vibe, more feeling. Some people call it the glue. If you're trying to glue things together and make things sound cohesive. Again, if you're doing an album, even if all the songs in the album were recorded at different studios and mixed by different engineers, your job as a mastering engineer is to make all the songs sound cohesive that are on the album. Make them sound like they were all done at the same time by the same person, by the same artist, everything. So that's what you're trying to do, is make all the levels similar, make all the EQ and vibe feel the same. So that's what mastering is all about. Okay, so I'm going to start by playing the song, okay? And then just kind of understand that I'm going to be doing some things, and I might talk to you a little bit about it. Now, as far as the meters go, I want to make sure that my peaks aren't going over 0, and that my RMS, so my overall volume, is between -4 and -8, basically -6. So I'll start with a limit and bring it down a little bit to start getting a little bit more volume out of the whole thing, okay? So that's pretty good. It's peaking, it's not peaking hard at 0, but it is hitting 0. Now listening to it, I feel like I can add a little bit of compression to my mid-range for the vocals and the guitar. So this is a multi-band compressor. Let me explain this a little bit. What this does is it breaks up the frequencies. It breaks up the entire signal into 4 different frequency bands and allows me to basically compress each individual band as I feel like I need it. And of course I can move the bands around where they break, where they move. Like if I want a little bit more of the higher mids in this one, than this one. So I can move those around. And basically you're moving the threshold and the gain. You're adding a little bit of gain. Now you can get in deep and you can listen and you can solo things. And I'm not a big fan of soloing things when I'm mixing or when I'm mastering. I just like to have things. I just like to hear things. Okay, so if you see me moving knobs, that's what I'm doing. I'm adjusting the threshold and then adding a little bit of gain back. I can add some depth on this. This is a pretty cool plugin. If you guys don't have this, go investigate it, man, because it's pretty cool. Yeah, I know Waves makes a pretty good multi-band compressor. I'm not really a fan of Waves, but I do have all the Waves plugins. I'm just not really a fan of them. I prefer this one over the Waves. And of course, as far as an EQ goes, this is my favorite EQ. I do have the Pro Q3. I just prefer this one. It sounds good. I like how it feels. It's got all the features that I need, and it's simple. I like things easy. Less is more, people. Less is more. So let's get back to the mastering on this song. Gonna add a little, get rid of a little bit of that low end, like below 30, 40. Don't even really need below 50, honestly. There's nothing down there. We can compress that just a little bit more if we need to. Let me boost this a little bit. You can see what I'm talking about. Now the bass is coming out. I don't need that. This song isn't about it. This song's not a hit like that. It's not doing that kind of stuff. That guitar frequency is a little bit too There's the guitar frequency there, so I can pull it back a little bit. Add just a little bit more compression, but also the vocals are in there as well. So I could put a little bit more of the guitar frequency in there, maybe even change the split just a little bit. That's feeling pretty good, okay? You can find the guitar frequency here, but see, the vocals are there with it. Now, understand that the moves that you make in this in mastering, are they're all together. So all those frequencies are there. So if you boost the high frequencies at 6,000, you're boosting a lot of stuff. So I try not to boost too much. Like I'm boosting almost a half dB here, 1 dB, 1.2 here. So I'm not trying to kill it. I'm not trying to do too much to it. So I am watching my meter, okay? And I'm hitting pretty good, but I'm not peaking on zero. I'm not stuck on 0. So I think I get a little bit more volume out of this. You definitely don't want it. You definitely don't want that. You definitely don't want to do. I brought that way up for you so you could hear it. All right. So what I might do in the end here is bring up that the Waves WLM meter, which can meter in LUFS, and we'll see how close I am to being commercial. Another thing that you might want to think about doing when you are mastering especially something that you haven't heard before, is have a reference. Reference it to something that is close to the genre, close to what you're doing. Like if I'm mastering this song, I wouldn't use a hip hop song for a reference. It just doesn't work. I'd find a good funk, soul, R&B kind of vibe that I would reference this to. I'm not referencing anything in this demo because it takes a lot of time and a lot of listening, which I'm not really listening that well. I've got my monitors in the control room turned down so that I can talk to you while I'm doing this. Okay. So I am going to make all these files available for you. I'll make each one of my mixes available for you. You guys can try this mastering on your own and see how you fare with it. See how you do with it. Okay. So I honestly think that feels pretty good. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bounce this one. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to go ahead and record it. I'll speed it up so you guys don't have to sit through the whole thing there. Okay, that one got all done. So what I want to do now is, since we're going to do more than one, I'm going to go ahead and make a playlist. I'm going to name this one... Okay, so I've named this Homie Master in the Box, or ITB. Now I want to bring this down to the playlist. There we go. So let's do the next one. Let's mute that one and unmute the analog version. Now let's go ahead and start where we left off and see if it sounds good. No, it doesn't. So let's go back to let's start fresh from all of our stuff here. Let's just go back to default everything. Okay, so let's just start again. There we go. Get a little bit more level on it.
It's so lonely, but I had
This one needs a little bit more low end taken out of it.
So lonely,
Seems like there's a lot more low end in this one than the other. The guitar is not as prominent in this one.
All I have is a good time.
Find that guitar frequency and give it a little bit extra gain.
You broke my wings, yet I have a good time. You shattered every one of my dreams, yet I had me a good time.
That snare's a little bit too big.
All I have is a good time. Yeah.
A little bit more volume of that, a little bit more of the overall volume on that to match the other. Pulling down the input to the limiter a little bit. You speed up the. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, it's not feeling too bad. So let's go ahead and print this one. We got it selected, so it's going to stop at the end of the recording, and let's go ahead and record this one.
Yeah.
Okay then, so that was the fully analog mix of it, and we're gonna rename this. I double clicked it. We're gonna name this Homie, and let's see. Let's keep them consistent here. Homie Analog. Okay, and once I click that, it'll change the name of it there. Now what I'm gonna do too is put it down here, and you know what? I have noticed that I would have spent a little more time on the mixes if I had if we had the extra time. I was running through these mixes. The mixes weren't really for mixing. It was more to show you how we go about the mixes. Not necessarily the actual mix, not necessarily the actual mixing of it. So the analog mix, yeah, I would have spent a little more time on that and adjusted a few things. Now that I'm hearing it again in the mastered situation, it's not as good as it could have been. So let's move on to the hybrid, which we'll change everything back to the defaults. Let's just start from there, and we'll start listening to this one. I muted the analog, now unmuted the hybrid, and let's take a listen. You can already use a little bit more level there. Again, man, I think we can get rid of some of these low frequencies that we don't need here.
So lonely, babe, but I had a good time.
80 down, man. Don't really need that. We do need a little bit extra. We can bump it a little bit there in the multi-band compressor. Here's that guitar frequency again. The vocals are in there as well.
Yet I have a good time. You shattered every one of my dreams. Yet I have me a good time.
I'm just listening while I'm doing this. I'm not talking. Sorry, I'm not talking, but I'm trying to listen. I got the speakers in here turned so far down because the microphone is on for you. You know what I mean? So maybe a little bit more level there. Just a tad, a couple of decibels. You know what might be interesting now? Let's put that WLM meter on there and take a look at, let's use the plus. Go ahead and take a look at what we might be pulling for LUFS.
Yeah.
There, we're peaking on the LUFS on this one, so
good time. So lonely, baby, but I have me a good time.
-8's pretty good though. You know, it's kind of it's peaking a little bit here with the RMS. The RMS is the overall. Then we have the peaks. So we're peaking on we're showing two different meters on the VU. One is the peaks. You see this little thing right here, and then this is the overall volume. I think we get a little bit more of the overall volume there.
Since you've been gone, all I have is a good time. Yeah.
All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. I'm gonna just turn this one off for now. We don't really need this. Let me get rid of it. And then let's go ahead and bounce this one, and then I'll make I'm gonna make all these files available for you to download and listen to. And then you can try your own. I'm gonna make all the files available that are not mastered, and then I'll make all the files available that are mastered, so you guys can hear the difference, okay? So let's go ahead and record this one. Go ahead and print on this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the hybrid mix. All right, so let's go ahead and name this one Homie Hybrid Master. Okay. There you go, and we can go ahead and put this down on another playlist, so we have all three on a playlist. There you go. So what we can do now is I'm going to make all these files available for you. Listen, they're not the greatest. I understand that. It wasn't about being a great mix. It was about showing how we mix or how we set up a mix, how we set up in the box, how we set up an analog mix, and how we set up a hybrid mix. It wasn't necessarily about doing a great mix. There's other tutorials out there that we have that are about making a great mix. If you guys would like to see us mix Homie as just a mix, let me know in the comments, and we'll create it. We'll make it for you, and we'll show you some tricks and tips and things along those lines to help you with your Homie mix. All the raw WAV files are available for download, so you can practice mixing Homie on your own. So thank you for hanging out with me for these past few weeks. Hopefully you guys got something out of this and understand the process of how we do these things here at ES Audio Recording Studios using the Homie files. Homie was a song that was recorded here in Studio B at ES Audio Recording Studios maybe 8 years ago. It was just a lot of fun. It was like a rainy afternoon, and nothing going on in the studio, so we just decided to, hey, let's mic up a band and do some crazy stuff and just record a silly song, and that's what happened. That's what came out. So not bad. Some cool stuff going on in there. Hopefully you guys got some great information out of this. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe and stay in touch. We will talk to you soon, and I appreciate you. Donnie B, I'm out. Peace. Hey, hopefully you got something out of that. It was a lot of fun to bring it to you. The mixes weren't as great as I would want them to be. The mixes that I used in this, which I'm actually giving you, I'm going to let you download these. I'm going to let you download my mixes, all three, the in the box, the analog, and the hybrid. You can master them there if you like. I'm also going to give you a template. Now, there's actually two templates. One has they're both for Pro Tools, and one is simply the Avid stock plugins, and the other one is all Waves plugins. So you can choose which one you like. You can always substitute which plugins you like for your mastering, and try it. What I suggest is the files, the raw files are also in there. Mix the song, mix Homie. You mix it, you master it. Get in our Facebook group and share with the group. You share your mixes. You know what I mean? I'd love to hear it. So send that over there. Go grab the mix and master prep checklist and EQ cheat sheet. It is updated. So if you already have the mix prep checklist, it is updated a little bit. So grab that. It's also got the mastering prep checklist. Those are hard words to say, man. I'll tell you what. But go grab it. It's learnprorecording.com/cheat sheet. Get that. The Homie files, including all of with the cheat sheet is the is the templates. So go get that anyway. You get it anyway because you got the templates. And then grab all the files at learnprorecording.com/homie files. I've added the 3 mixes that I did, and you guys can master those. Okay, so check that out. I do want to invite you to our workshop, which is coming up on, if you're watching this as a replay after July 30th, 2024, sorry, you've missed the workshop. There'll be others. Keep an eye out. But go to learnprorecording.com/workshop24. Get registered. It's going to be awesome. We're going to talk about doing this as a business. We've got some stuff coming up in August, which I'm going to talk to you about. But the workshop is all about starting your business and running your business as a audio engineer, music producer, studio owner. I mean, how do you make money doing what we love to do? I'm going to help you learn how to build and grow and scale your business to hopefully, I mean, my goal for you is to quit your day job. Not just yet. You do got bills, so don't go crazy just yet. But my idea is that I want everybody to do what they love to do for a living. And this is awesome, by the way. I have been doing this forever, as you guys know, and I'll talk to you more about that on the workshop. If you want to learn more about me, go check out the workshop. We're going to talk about that as well. How I got started, where I went, what I did, that kind of stuff. So enjoy. Again, next month, August, is podcasting month. It's a short month. There's only 4, I think there's only 4 podcast days for me on that month. But we're going to start off with talking about podcasts as a business. Things you can do. Dude, you already have the equipment. If you got a Focusrite 2i2 and a microphone, you're ready for podcasting. You're ready to start making money podcasting. Let me help you with that. That's what we're here for. So next month is going to be awesome. I'm excited. Can't wait for it. So we'll see you on the workshop on July 30th, 2024 at 6:15 p.m. Pacific time. Be there. Don't miss out on any of it. It's going to be about an hour, and we'll hang out. I'll be there to answer your questions. If we do go over, it's totally fine with me. I don't mind. But if you got questions about anything, anytime, anywhere, hit me up. We'll be there. That's what the workshop's for, is for me to help you build, grow, and scale. So I'm going to get up out of here. Have a great week. Enjoy yourself. Go out there. Get some work. Make some money. Pay your rent. Let's get this done. My name is Donnie Baker, and I am out of here. See you next week.